Him.
I was looking for him.
We're gonna repair video with Kevin. The first thing he says, you have a him?
Yeah.
You have a him? Right here on the floor. Right where it's supposed to be. So, what's this off of?
This is the brakes on a 9300 series Steiger. That's it.
I feel better about my tank brakes now.
Yeah, so this is service brakes and parking brake. That's the parking brake just latches your service brake on and they kind of ratchet in. So these things you're supposed to be able to shove them in and then back it off, but nothing really wants to seem to move. So we might just have to take it apart. I don't have time for that.
Right on. Here we go.
Alright, it does move, but you're supposed to be able just to push it out, but it's
You're talking about the piston?
the piston, yeah. So I don't know if it's the screwed up rubber in there that's holding it, but if you hit it, it kind of bounces. And of course, I don't want to wreck it, so hopefully we can just
Use a 25-ton press to just push it out.
just go nice and easy and push it out. Yeah.
So the press worked, and it was hanging up because of that.
I just used the screw.
Oh yeah. Oh, perfect.
Didn't even have to pump it.
Oh, nice.
It just popped right out, lickety split.
So now it's just you're going
Yeah.
cockeyed or whatever. So that's not good because that's just gonna leak.
Well, it's likely not leaking because it was hanging out so far, right? So oh, serious?
Yeah. It's riding on another spot of the. It's in its second groove.
You're gonna push that cylinder farther in.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be running on that spot, and it's gonna leak like a sieve.
Right.
Right? Because if you look at like the new pads, they're got this much meat on.
Yeah.
So once you shove that in that much farther, instead of running here, it's gonna run right.
Yeah.
And it's gonna just be.
Yeah. So either new JB Weldon sand.
Like the bore is good.
Yeah, bore's fine, but I think take it to shop. That's not chrome. I don't think so.
No, the new ones came with seals. I'm like, oh, I don't need pistons. I'll just put a seal kit. So,
There was ones with pistons?
yeah, you get the pistons. You can buy a piston, one piston, and it comes with the seals for that piston. Or you buy a complete seal kit.
You cheaped out.
Wow, I didn't think I was gonna need pistons. You should have looked first. We're ordering 100,000 parts. We figured we just order brakes while we're at it.
This is our exact problem with everything. Anyway, he'll figure it out. We're gonna pop the other one out and then see if the machine shop can do something, or how much is a piston worth?
I don't remember.
Yeah. Enough not to make you buy it.
You gotta remember who's working on this, right?
Get your hand out of the way. Nobody can see what's going on.
I have nice hands. Like that was just comes out easy. Just needs a little bit of steady pressure.
Yeah.
Isn't any better?
Nope.
No.
That's worse. It's got 2 rings.
So these park brake actuators, it's not like a normal brake where you have to like adjust the cable. They ratchet. So then as your brake wears, so you gotta drive these adjuster pins in and then back them out. So if you were working on the brakes, you would have to do this. Otherwise, oh, this one's left. Of course, one's left and one's right. There we go.
So now you're pulling it back?
Yeah. This one is backwards thread because
Yeah.
right. This is the French side.
That's racist. Kevin's been in the sun all day. You can see the red.
Yeah.
He's not thinking clearly. He's making racist comments.
Anyways, the pistons that were shot, they were gonna turn them down and get them re-chromed, but the re-chroming shop was way behind, so they made me new stainless ones.
Yeah, so
I think they're pretty.
because his pistons or his brakes were worn so much, it was past the pitted part, and then it wasn't leaking. But
Right, because it was here, but as soon as you put the new pads on, it's gonna be rubbing right there.
I would have just taken the grinder to the pads and took half off.
Just where, let's see. So this is where they were. So we just, you know,
Yeah, you split the difference. It just didn't work.
take off most of it, then we can do this again next year.
Not steel on steel. You did not let it go that far.
It was close. But the disc actually looks pretty good yet.
Good.
So new, I cleaned up those with a wire wheel, those grooves, because they were really rusty too. And there's all pitted, but the seal's gonna sit in there and it's not gonna rub against it, right?
Right.
So I'm not too worried about that. Seals and the new pistons and
So yeah, you can buy a kit with pistons in it.
yeah.
And why didn't you do that?
Because I bought the seal kit, so that's all I need.
Yeah.
And then I was gonna buy. I could have bought the pistons, but they were expensive. This was actually cheaper.
Getting new ones made.
Getting new ones made at a stainless was cheaper than buying new chromies.
Okay. So now that Kevin has the file for the CNC machine, you can get him to make your own pistons, and it can even say Kevin on there with a big smiley face or something.
You talk to Chiba about that.
Yeah, Chiba Kelly's got the. So thanks, Chiba, for that. But yeah, you gonna put it back together?
That's the plan. We need this thing. So, well, we don't really need it to stop. We need it to go.
Both issues.
So, cheese together. So, lubed up the seals, put the new pistons in. I stole they got these little anti-dampener discs that were in there. We stuck them on there. Now these things, you mark them when you take them off, and they got to go back on. You can't, they're not ambidextrous.
Now explain your French racism.
So it's like a can of soup. You have the English side and you have the French side. If you turn the soup over can around, you get the French side. So you have vegetable soup and you have soup de légumes. One's one way, one's the other.
So it's not racist, it's very accurate.
It's just the way it is.
It's just the way it is, all right.
If you put the French one on the English side and the English one on the French side, it's not gonna work.
They're not gonna talk to each other?
It's just not gonna, it's chaos, right? So it's gonna be like, it's not gonna ratchet the right way. And then, so I did mark these with a chisel, so I got them on the right spot. Because that's a ratchet, right? As you park brake. So, should be able just to put the pads on and put the crossover tube on and
Done. Good.
stick it on, bleed it out. Hopefully it works.
Awesome.
I don't know, you think it's gonna stop any better?
I'm assuming 100% yes.
At
At least once.
I'm a little skeptical.
That's it, eh? 2 pads stopping that entire tractor.
So when you see one coming down the road, give it space. And that's gonna go in there like that.
This one overseas for that?
Yeah, maybe we should, eh? Put some on your hands, so I'm not the only
No.
one. Well, I'm not the only one that's gray hands for the next
You
week.
go give your wife a back massage.
Just a little bit on there.
Just that's way too much, so it's perfect.
Yeah. Most of it's gonna come off anyways. It slides through. Get some never sees on the brake linings.
Yeah,
That'll
it'll
be
make
good,
them last longer.
Yeah, it'll last longer. That's right. It'll be more like the stopping power that I used to have. Where'd your pin go? Something like that. Yeah, they're gonna get pushed back with the things.
Nice.
These springs should be.
A little spread out one, yeah.
Yeah.
They're not 100% functional.
Okay, well,
They're more functional for your old pads.
we can fix it.
That's such a nice clean job. You got a mosquito on your nose, Kevin.
Yeah. Be quiet and give me a rag, would you? Oh, his wife's bathroom dookie. Shh.
Snap. It's okay, I can get Vince to weld it.
Yeah.
He can weld spring steel.
They're not that.
Functional?
No, I'm saying they're not that. What do you call it?
Reliable?
High end. Like you think they'd be. No, I can't.
It helped, but
Someone's got to hold the camera.
I'm busy, yeah. Just gonna... Worked way better the first time.
Yeah. There.
Always gonna be way better when there's somebody over your shoulder holding the camera.
Yeah. Smack it.
Nice. All right, cotter in here.
Yep.
I'm ready for that.
That's the one thing they do give you.
Oh.
Is new cotter.
Oh wow.
They don't give you new springs, but they give you new cotter.
Money well spent.
Yeah, that thing's ready to go back on.
Nice.
Back down bleeder out. It's on my $25,000 workbench.
Nice and solid, yeah.
But I had one lever, I had them marked and I had them lined up, but I had one lever out a little bit because they work together, right? So now I'm not gonna do it because then I have to start all over. But these will pull about that far up.
Yep.
And they go down. And then there's stops built into these things, so they only go that far. And then when they come all the way up, then it kind of clicks it to the next notch, and then you go down. So I was doing that, and then I was moving the pistons in, so then I had to shove these in and turn them back again. So the good news is that by doing that, I know I have these on the right side, and the park brake's working. So
Okay. Nice. So now we just gotta
hold that up there, and it's heavy, and stick the bolts in.
Okay.
And then put the line on, and then bleed it out, and hook the park brake cable here. And there you go, you got brakes again.
Okay. There we go.
Lift it up here, and then the bolts. I'm thinking if we put the bottom bolts in first, because the top bolts are like way up here and hard to get at.
Okay.
And I took it out with the transmission out, and so it's way easy, right? Because you can sit right here. But those bolts are still hard to get at with the transmission out. So.
Okay. So it makes no difference.
Well, really, but with the transmission, with the brake being off, it was a lot easier to get up there and put those things on.
Yeah.
So I can still get at that master clutch cable, I think, when the brake is on.
Okay.
To adjust that.
Okay.
So let's stick this in.
Okay.
Now.
Okay, so apologize for the crappy DeWalt mic that flickers everything. The Milwaukee's do it too. So yeah, just tightening the bolts, and then it's bleeding it. But Kevin's got to go watch a Leafs game, and I got to go back on the Audi.
Well, I gotta get the brake line back on there. It's laid up there. I took it off. So I gotta stick the brake line. It loops around underneath.
Yep.
And then we'll get some .3 from Princess Auto.
I don't think. I don't know. Do you need any more? I'll give you a hand. Do you need a hand bleeding it, or do you have a vacuum bleeder?
No, I need. Otherwise, I can get my boy.
There's bleeders on the bottom. Is that a problem?
Dirt doesn't taste good.
There's a bleeder on the top and the bottom.
Yeah, there's a bleeder up there. There's 3 bleeders, I think.
Interesting. Why is there a bleeder on the bottom?
I don't know. I didn't design the thing. I just figured we just open them all up until we get brake fluid coming out of all of them.
I just
That
want to
should
make
be good.
sure that the internet warriors don't rip us apart because the bleeder's on the bottom.
Well, it's got a crossover tube. So there's a bleeder up top,
Yeah.
and one down here, and one back here.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Well, I do have a vacuum bleeder to make it a one-person
But
job.
talking about vacuum bleeder, we have to hook up the fuel lines to the fuel tank too, and we gotta do the vacuum cleaner trick on that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, we're gonna stop the video there unless we have problems bleeding it. But that's.
We're not gonna video bleeding it,
We can, I guess. All right.
because then we can yell at each other. Push it down! I got brake fluid in my face.
All right. Well, we'll keep the comedy shit show going. See what we do, but it won't be tonight.
It'll be interesting to see how this park brake ratchets up too. I've never seen that before. Normally with park brakes, you gotta keep adjusting the cable, right? To
Yep.
tighten the handle up.
Yeah.
But this one, it's like self-adjusting, and you just run the handle up and down a bunch of times to ratchet these in.
Yep.
So I'm curious to see how that works.
Nice. All right. I'll go back.